Good morning, Olivia Designs. I've been asked a couple of times about the knots that I use and how to tie them. So I just wanted to do a quick little tutorial on one of the first knots, and this one is called the square knot, and it's a very basic knot. Um, most people, most kids who go through scouting will learn this as a very basic knot, and most people who do macrame do this as a very basic knot. Now, what I have here, I'm using um, different colors, different contrasting colors, only for the purpose of being able to see the how they're tied a little bit better. This is not these colors really don't all go together very well at all, but they do contrast enough so that I can show you what the knot looks like and how to tie it. Okay, so and I'm trying to get up close. I'm trying to get more close up. So if you bear with me as I try to do this here. Okay. So here's strands. Two strands. Yeah, we're saying that early. And these are the center core, and this is what the square knot gets tied around. Um, Let me get a couple of other pieces of cord in here. Yeah, I'm just using yellow. I'm using black for the center so that you can see how that goes. I've got yellow, this fluorescent yellow for one side, and I've got this light blue for the other side. And hopefully that's a contrasting enough colors that you'll be able to see how this is done. Okay, so one of the things I want to do is I want to loop these so that you have it in your fingers like this, and this one goes into your hands like this. You have these two loops. Now what you're going to do is you're going to, underneath here, you're going to cross them over. Okay, so can you see how they're crossed over? And they just kind of like do that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is go underneath the black string down here so we can see it, and then we're going to cross over just like that, and we're going to put the one side over top and the other side on the bottom. Okay, we see how that goes, and then we take the side that's on the bottom and we pull it through the loop, the ends through the loop of the side that's on the top. And see, this is why they call it the square knot, because it's basically can form a square. Okay, now we want to tie this kind of tight. Now, be careful when you do this, because if you just pull on the loose strings, this can come, the other one can come just flying through, and it gets all untied and everything like that. So you got to untie it, but you got to be careful with it. So rule of thumb for the square knot is left over right, right over left. And what that means is that you take left over right, the left one's going to go over the right one, and the right one's going to go over the left one's going to go over first, like that. So this one's on the top, and this one's going to be on the bottom, and we're going to form another box and a knot. It's sort of like overhand knots. Okay, see how that goes? And then right over left, it's going to be right over top, and then the other side goes down and underneath and then through, and we pull it through like that. And this is how we get this V shape here. Okay, and one way to look at it is if you see how this, let me find something I can point with. you see how this part here is coming down underneath this part here, the blue. The yellow is coming underneath the blue. And on this side here, it's the same thing. The yellow is coming underneath the blue goes over top of the yellow. So when this is underneath, this side here is going to go underneath, like this. Now the blue, it's on top. It's coming out of the top of this loop here, and the yellow is coming out of the bottom of the blue loop here. So now this one's on top. So while this one is on top, the other side is going to come over on top. These are all just little things that I come up with to help, in my mind, keep track of what I'm doing next and what not is coming up next. And as you continue to go down, you start to see the pattern unfold. As you look close enough, you can see this coming folded. Now, one of the things about this knot that I really like is that it is pretty much reversible. And that is, if you turn it over, see how the yellow is in the middle and the blue is on the outside of it. If you turn it over, this side, the blue's on the middle and the yellow's on the outside. So you could make it for just about anything that you want as far as that combination goes. Okay? And this is all you really do. You got the V in the middle, both sides, and you got loops on the edges, both sides. And we have contrasting colors. And on the sides, one of the ways that you can tell is if you go off is it's always a loop up and a loop down and a loop up and a loop down and a loop up and a loop down and a loop up. If you get two downs, two loops down or two loops up, it's time to take it apart up to that point and do it. I'm gonna show you really quickly what I mean by that. See, I'm purposely going to do a loop up and another loop up. And then a loop down. I'm just going to mess it up real good here so that you can get an idea of what it looks like when it's messed up. So you can see how this blue got in the middle here and the yellow got on the sides here. And if you look here, if you're using strands that are all the same color, you'll be able to tell by this. So you have a loop up, loop down, loop up, loop down, loop down. Not right, okay? And it's not a big deal. You just untie it back to the point of where you think the issue is, and you retie it again. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. If you make a mistake on this, you can always untie it and start over again. Okay, so that's basically how the square knot goes. Okay, I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like it, subscribe, and share this with your friends if you think that they'd be interested in this. Thank you very much.